YNW Melly was the main provider for his family, taking care of his mother, Jamie King, and his younger brother, YNW Slime. He made sure they had everything they needed. But after his arrest on February 13, 2019, things started to change. The money that once flowed easily began to slow down. With expensive lawyer fees, mortgage payments for his mother's home, and the cost of simply living while being locked up, the financial strain was becoming real. That is when Jamie King shocked the internet. News broke that YNW Melly's mother had started a fans account, and the reaction was instant. People could not believe it. She later appeared in an interview to explain why she did it and how much she made from it. The interviewer asked her, "Why did you decide to break the internet like that? You're YNW Melly's mom, and now you're joining fans." She responded confidently, "Why not? You make money while you sleep. I turned 40 this year, so why not do something crazy?" Then came the big question. "Did you start it yet? How much did you make on the first day?" Jamie King smiled and answered, "The first day was pretty epic." "Give me a ballpark figure," the interviewer pushed. She finally revealed, like 40-ish, 50. One day, just like that, the internet exploded. The news spread so fast that even DJ Academics could not ignore it. He had to speak on it. So, YNW Melly's mom announced she is starting an only account, Academics said in a video. "And I have to be honest with y'all, man, this is confusing. I do not understand why she is doing this. Her son is literally fighting for his life right now." He did not stop there. He continued, "There are certain mothers in hip-hop who, instead of just letting their kids be the stars, they also want to be stars. Blueface's mom is one of them. But this situation with Melly's mom and Melly? I always found it interesting, but I never thought she would do something like this." Some people agreed with him, saying there was no way this was about money. Others thought it was disrespectful, considering Melly's situation. But social media had other opinions. An old interview from No Jumper started making rounds again. In that interview, Jamie King, Melly's mom, and YNW Slime, his younger brother, talked about Melly's spending habits. The clip showed Adam, 22, the host, asking Jamie King a simple question. "I imagine Melly has spent a lot of money on lawyers," Adam said. Jamie King did not even try to explain. She just laughed. That laugh alone said a lot. YNW Slime, on the other hand, was more direct. "Melly spent a lot of money on things he should not have. Cars, jewelry, and he is not even out to wear the jewelry. I was like, why are you buying jewelry when you are not even here to wear it?" Adam nodded, agreeing with Slime. "Lawyers are probably the best thing you could spend money on." That interview resurfacing only made things worse. People started asking even more questions. Was this about money? Had Melly spent too much on unnecessary things instead of his defense? Was his mom now trying to make money in any way possible? Or was this just another case of someone wanting attention? No one had real answers, but the internet did what it always does, pick sides. Some fans defended Jamie King. They said she had a right to do whatever she wanted. Others argued that her focus should be on helping her son, not doing something that could bring even more negative attention. Some even started making comparisons. "This reminds me of when Blueface's mom tried to be famous," one person tweeted. "This is crazy. Melly is literally in jail, and his mom is out here doing this? It just does not feel right," another person wrote. But not everyone saw it that way. "Maybe she is just trying to survive," someone commented. "Y'all act like lawyer fees are cheap. Maybe she is doing what she has to do." The internet continued debating. Meanwhile, Melly himself had not said anything. His legal team stayed quiet as well. But with his retrial coming up, this was the last kind of distraction he needed. No matter how people felt about Jamie King's decision, one thing was clear: the situation had gotten even more complicated. Slime responded, "Yeah, but he is good with lawyers. Bro, money is not an issue when it comes to that. But there was a lot of money that should have gone to lawyers and did not." Then he added, "And now he does not even want the chain anymore." This old clip made people start to question if financial struggles were the real reason behind Jamie King's decision. Was she really trying to help her son, or was she just looking for attention? The internet had mixed opinions. At the end of the day, people are going to judge no matter what. Some think she is doing what she has to do to survive. Others believe she is chasing clout. Either way, Jamie King is making headlines and YNW Melly's case is still ongoing. YNW Melly's trial has already been long and difficult, but things have only become more complicated. His mother, Jamie King, has been dealing with a lot, and some people think her decision to start a fan account was just a way to distract herself from everything going on. During the original trial, Melly was even seen asking her if she was okay multiple times, showing just how hard this has been on their family. But now, there is an even bigger problem. Melly's financial struggles are about to get worse because his ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, is back in the United States. It was announced that Mariah was released from the PA Redetention Facility on Saturday, February 8th, after a judge ruled in her favor the day before. This was a major moment because it was the first time Melly and Mariah had seen each other in person since he turned himself in 6 years ago. When he walked into the courtroom and saw her, he could not stop smiling, but sources in the courtroom say he also teared up. However, this situation is not good for Melly. Mariah had been ordered to testify against him, but she avoided it by leaving the country. Now that she is back, she has no choice. After her release, she made a Facebook post thanking her family and friends for supporting her while she was detained. She wrote, "Thank you to my village. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." She was reportedly upset that her situation was being talked about on the news, but there was no hiding it. Mariah was arrested at Miami International Airport by U.S. Border Patrol agents and taken to Broward County Jail. Before this, she had no criminal record. She had been ordered to testify in Melly's first trial in 2023, but she never showed up. Now that she has spent time in jail, she has made it clear that she never wants to go back. The feds already have evidence related to the case of YNW Juvie and Sack Chaser. They just need Mariah to confirm it in the retrial. As part of the deal for her release, she has agreed to testify against Melly. The prosecution has evidence from Mariah's iCloud account, which allegedly shows suspicious activity connected to Melly. The biggest issue is that she was pressured into staying silent, which is known as witness tampering. This alone carries a life sentence. Because of this, prosecutors have filed 6 new charges against Melly and 2 other people. These charges include witness tampering, criminal solicitation, and unlawful use of a communication device. Some of these charges could lead to life in prison if he is convicted. This witness tampering case is separate from Melly's original case involving Sack Chaser and Juvie. It means more lawyer fees, a longer trial, and more financial stress for his family. The feds started looking into Mariah after people in Melly's hometown began talking about her involvement. Even Juvie's father started asking around and doing his own investigation. He found out that Melly had been using coded language to try to stop Mariah from testifying. These were the same words that showed up in Mariah's iCloud records. The way Melly was communicating was unusual. Since he was not allowed to use the jail phone, he was reportedly passing notes to other people, who would then call someone else to deliver his messages. The feds believe this was part of a larger effort to silence witnesses. The coded messages included phrases like Rihanna and rock his baby mom, which investigators believe were secret instructions. If Melly is found guilty of witness tampering, he could be sentenced to life in prison. This has already made things much worse for him. He has not been allowed to use a jail phone for months because of this. His mother, Jamie King, even did an interview where she called out the county jail for not letting him communicate. With the retrial coming up and new charges piling up, things are not looking good for YNW Melly. His legal battles are far from over, and now, with Mariah's testimony, the case has taken another unexpected turn. Jamie King has been struggling with the way her son, YNW Melly, is being treated in jail. She says he is not allowed to use a phone or even look at his own mail. She points out that even inmates who have been convicted of crime still have the right to make phone calls and send letters to their loved ones. But in Melly's case, they are holding his mail and refusing to give it to him. The reason behind this is the serious allegations against him. Authorities believe he was using jail phones to tamper with witnesses, which is why they have completely cut off his access. If they are enforcing such strict rules, it likely means they have strong evidence to support their claims. Otherwise, they would not go this far. Jamie says she is heartbroken over this situation. She feels helpless, knowing her son is being treated unfairly. When Melly released a statement saying he was scared for his life, it was devastating for her as a mother. She believes the Broward Sheriff's Office is making up its own rules, and she wants them to be investigated. She and her legal team have tried to take this issue to court, but she says the judge does not have much control over what happens inside the jail. Even when they had a hearing about Melly's mistreatment, nothing changed. She believes someone needs to hold the jail accountable. This situation has caught the attention of rap veteran Boozy, who relates to what Jamie is going through. He remembers meeting her while Melly was locked up and seeing how stressed she was. He says she reminded him of what his own mother went through when he was in a similar position. Meanwhile, Melly's legal team has been fighting to prove his innocence. In court, they argued that during the original trial, there was never a firearm found. They also presented GPS evidence showing that at the time of the crime, Melly was running down a street and hiding in some bushes. He even told someone on the phone that there was a car following him and that he was trying to stay hidden. When asked about his friends, Sack Chaser and Juvie, he said he did not know if they were still in the car. Unfortunately, this was not enough to get him released. His retrial has been delayed for over a year, and prosecutors have continued gathering more evidence against him. What they have found is alarming. They have even used new evidence to argue that Melly should never be granted bail. Investigators also found that Melly was very close friends with King Von before Von's passing. Recently, an O-Block member revealed that Melly once asked King Von for advice. He wanted to know what to do if two close friends were turning against him over money and how to handle the situation without raising suspicion. The O-Block member did not say exactly what was discussed, but he hinted that Melly made it clear he was in a bad situation. After the conversation, King Von was upset and told him he should not have posted certain things online. According to him, Melly's two friends were trying to extort him, but Melly was still keeping them close despite that. This case is about more than just a street crew. YNW is actually a registered business, and the financial side of things has played a big role in everything that has happened. The deeper prosecutors dig, the more they are finding, and this is making Melly's situation even more difficult. YNW Melly and his group used to perform concerts, sell merchandise, and do promotions, with all the money going into the YNW bank account. From there, payments were made to the four members. However, Sack Chaser and Juvie wanted a share, believing it was split evenly at 25% each. The problem was that they were not contributing any work. If you know anything about how King Von handled his own situations, you can probably guess what advice he would have given Melly, who no longer wanted to keep paying Sack Chaser and Juvie what they thought they were owed. This became an important missing piece in the original trial, figuring out the motive. But when you add this to the evidence found on Melly's phone, everything starts to come together. A few hours after the crime, Melly sent a text message that changed everything. Someone using the Peasy Gambino account asked if he was okay. His response? "I did that," followed by a smiling emoji. Another message from October 26, 2018, at 4:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time read, "What after that? SHHHH." Even more shocking was what else was found on Melly's phone, a saved video from someone's Facebook Live, taken just 6 hours after the crime. It showed Melly and Bortlen reacting to what had happened. Instead of being in shock or mourning the loss of their two close friends, they were smiling, laughing, and still in high spirits as if nothing had happened. This led prosecutors to dig even deeper into the physical evidence, starting with the Jeep they were driving that night. In the original trial, Sergeant Williams had already testified that there was no way this was a drive-by shooting. He explained how many bullets were found inside the vehicle. He stated how many rounds were inside the car. 3 from the driver's side back seat, towards Christopher Thomas. Then he was asked, where was Christopher Thomas sitting? Williams responded, the driver's side back seat. My determination is that this was not a drive-by. The prosecution then focused on the seating arrangement inside the car. During the investigation, YNW Juby's mother was called to the stand to confirm where her son was sitting. She was asked to identify who sat where inside the gray Jeep. She introduced herself, saying, "My name is Ms. Phillips, and I am the mother of Christopher Thomas." When asked if she saw who entered the vehicle, she confirmed, "Yes." The prosecutor then asked, "Do you remember where your son sat in that Jeep?" She responded, "He got in the back seat on the right-hand side." Then came the most crucial question. "Do you recognize the person who sat in the back seat on the left side, behind the driver?" Without hesitation, she answered, "Yes." "And who is that person?" She responded, "Gel." This testimony, combined with the physical evidence and Melly's own messages, made the case against him even stronger.